All right, welcome everyone to this week's Sovereign Life team call. It's August 11th. We're gonna jumpstart today's call with doing a little bit about product testimonial. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, this is gonna be so hard for me. So you just recently got in some of your Nikan products. So we'd love to hear a little bit about your experience this far. Tell us what you ordered for yourself and how you've been enjoying that.
So I got the water pack.
Awesome.
And yeah, we set it up. It was fairly easy. I just watched the video to follow along with, and it was pretty like self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Straightforward. And yeah, now my whole family is using it and haven't had one bad thing to say about it. So
awesome.
Yeah, everyone.
Well, have they had any good things to say about it?
Of course, yeah. Everyone who's coming in, they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And they'll like have the water bottle in their hand. They've been drinking, and they're like, "Okay, let's try." And they always like, "Wow, there's such a difference." And yeah, so it's great.
That's awesome.
Have you tried the balance test with them?
No, I haven't.
Have you tried like taste the tap water and then taste the Pymag water?
Yeah, I did that with they had a water bottle in their hand. They could taste it right away. So
okay.
Nice.
Because you can remember the strength test that I did with you when you hold your hands up? You can do that with the water.
Okay.
You can have them take a sip of their tap water or whatever water they're drinking, do that, and then have them take the same sip of the Nikan water and then try that. And there's usually a noticeable difference.
Wow.
The other thing, you guys, you don't know about because you're too young to know about it. For those people who have issues with their face, skin, wrinkles, things like that, they're putting Pymag water in the spray bottle and spraying their face. And if you watch the video, I don't know if I think I gave you guys this video. Herb Rapp is a friend and colleague of mine. He's a Royal Diamond in Nikan for many years. He was a former US Open tennis pro and tennis pro in Las Vegas. He taught a lot of the world famous guys. And anyway, he's been a huge fan and advocate of Nikan products forever. His video is superb. Like let your family, let your parents especially watch this, because they'll first of all be able to relate to the stuff that he talks about. This is a guy who's in his early 70s. He just competed for the first time in the leagues again, playing tennis in Georgia, where it's the sort of the capital of tennis in the US. And he won his first tournament for 70-year-olds. He won the 70-year-olds tournament. And he tells all the stuff that he was using, all the Nikan product, and gives you some real great insights. And one of the things I remember him saying was spraying his face would give him real quick alertness. It would wake him up and give him alertness. So something to remember.
Cool.
We'll experiment on myself with that.
Yeah, one of my new customers said to me that when they took a few sips of the water, they immediately noticed a difference in their energy. So that's interesting to know. People are feeling the energy of the pie water molecules.
I also felt that because I eat rice, a lot of people do, and like just cooking my rice in that water, it was like lighter. I don't know, it was different. And I was like, wow, I'm gonna cook all my food in this water.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Cool. Very wonderful. Okay, so then I guess, does anyone else have any other product experience they want to talk about recently? I know I just got my energy pack in, so I'm excited about that because there's a lot of goodies in there. My parents are actually going to Montreal next weekend, so my mom's taking the Kenko seat with her.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll definitely hear much more about that next week. But I'm excited. Sophia and I were even speaking about potentially doing a little unpacking and sharing it on social media and our audience, and kind of doing a little bit of an info session about the products in the energy pack and just a live interaction, which might be kind of a cool way to engage. So
you guys should do the balance tests on each other or on one
Yeah.
or the other. That'll get some attention.
Yeah, definitely.
I was going to say that if you your product should be coming in. Just keep checking. This one of the things I advise you to do as a business partner is download the app for the post office, Canada Post.
Canada Post.
So yeah, it's the shoot
Yeah.
there. So it's the Canada Post app right there in the middle there. And so that way, when you go into your back office under orders, you can see tracking, shipping and tracking orders. Click on that. Then you can see the different orders, whether it's to yourself, to your customer, whatever. You can click on the order number and it'll show you what the order is, or you can click on the tracking number. When you click on the tracking number, if you're doing it from your phone and you click on it'll open up you click on the tracking, then it'll open up to the order. And sometimes it's more than one box. And each of those different boxes have a tracking number. When you click on that tracking number, it'll go to your automatically transfer into your post. And then you can track your packages immediately, and then you can give it a name. So I'm tracking one right now, Savannah King Fit, shipment picked by Canada Post, expected delivery August 13 by end of day. So it helps you stay on top of when somebody's going to receive something. I think it's really important you stay on top of that. In the US, they're going to use a different tracking system. It's either FedEx or UPS or whatever. But I like to be on top of when somebody gets their order, just to give them sort of that, Christmas feel. It's time to unpack.
Yeah.
And go through it with them, make sure they got everything, go through with them, remind them of whatever you maybe have discussed with them. It's just that personal touch matters. Because remember, we don't need a whole lot of customers, but if we have loyal customers, they'll be customers for life. And as your network expands and you've taught that behavior to your network, which is just simply proper common courtesy for your customers, but you're going to create a customer following that is a customer following for life. So right now, more than ever, people want a personal touch. They're willing to jump through hoops for a personal touch. I know I'm one of those people. So that's just one of the little things to remember. Download the app, and that way you can try stuff. Also, I was going to suggest, if you have a customer, some of you do, who purchased last month, don't forget, as of yesterday, they can now apply their Niken reward points towards a purchase.
Yeah.
I think you have to call that in. I think that order has to be phoned in.
Why?
I believe that's what it is.
Why?
You have to look at
I thought they were just
asking
going to
me why.
have points in their account.
I don't know, Sophia, that's new to me if that's happening automatically, because then that's something new. I don't know for sure. We should probably find out.
Yeah.
Well,
We should
it wasn't that
definitely
long
do
ago. That was the only way. And it's all based on upgrades to the back office. So the why is, of course, why. But if you knew where we were at in the process of upgrading the system, you'd know why I'm asking that question or suggesting that. So that needs to be confirmed, just so you know, because you want these people to take advantage of those points. It's their money. They should use it towards something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. Do we want to maybe transition then into the conversation surrounding beginning with end in mind?
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me, while I'm searching for that PowerPoint, because I'm not exactly sure where I have it. Just give me a second. I know what it's called. Maybe you can make a comment about that. By the way, your talk last night is posted.
Yeah, I want to
And,
share that. We're gonna share that in our group, in our team chat.
I'm gonna upload it to YouTube.
Yep.
I'm in the
Okay,
process
perfect.
of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we covered some good things last night.
I thought it was a really great training as
Mhm.
well as commentary. Okay, I found my PowerPoint. It's ancient. I have not transitioned this one to to the new formats. So I guess that's homework. If it's important enough, I'll do it, I guess. I do have it somewhere, but I just don't want to take the time to find it. Okay, so may I share my screen? Some of you know I have a call that's called Aligning with Success. And preceding that call, long before I had that call, was this PowerPoint, this presentation. That every time I do a presentation using a flip chart or whatever, I eventually turn it into a PowerPoint. If I do it often enough, it's like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to be talking about this. And what came to me one time was a lot of the things that we talk about in the law of attraction is the understanding that the infinite possibilities that exist in the quantum field, the field of possibility. How you lock in on any one of those possibilities is through frequency. And so let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I took two identical guitars tuned and for one guitar, what would happen to the second? It would induce the same frequency on the second guitar. The second guitar would start to strum. So that's called harmonic resonance. Resonance, person singing a note, shattering a glass. So how that happens is if you strum the glass, you hear that note, they're able to sing that note in perfect pitch to the glass. And so now the glass and the voice are in perfect harmony. The vibrational match is equal. So what happens?
Guys, is it just me or is the audio being really bad?
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's like
Papa, nobody can hear you.
Continue to increase and eventually the glass will shatter.
Papa, can you hear me?
You're not getting.
really bad internet connection right now.
Yeah, like you're cutting in and out really badly.
Let me try one thing. I'll close the door.
Lay in the ding.
Dun, dun.
See if is it no answer.
No, you're
Hello?
still cutting. You're cutting in and out. It's really delayed.
Okay. I'm not sure what that's all about, other than it's two of us on the same.
Connection, but maybe where you're located in the house.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if need
No,
be,
it's
I
where I'm
can
always
go take that
located.
one over, but
It's the
True.
direct line of sight to the internet. It's just, are you hearing me at all right now? Are you hearing me right now?
we're hearing you, but there's definitely a disconnect. There's a lag.
Okay, let's try a different thing. I'll switch to a different channel. I'll use my phone for hotspot.
We have 10 people in our Google Drive group. Wow. Look at us go. We just need to put some more meetings in our schedule because it seemed like this one,
Hey,
the
tell me
only
if you
one
hear
who
me.
can show up consistently is Sophia.
No.
Tell me if you can
Sophia's
see
a
me.
real one right here. Yes, we could see you.
Okay, you can hear me, see me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try this again then. So which part did I lose you at? Did you hear the part where I talk about frequency, guitars, anything like that?
Started talking about the guitars.
All
Two
right, so
guitars
you got
that-
two guitars that are identical, tuned exactly the same. If you strum one guitar, what happens to the second guitar?
Supposed to vibrate.
It starts to vibrate with the same chord or notes, whatever. That's called harmonic resonance because they're tuned to the same frequency. One strums, the other one picks up that vibration and they're equally matched, then they start to have resonance. Same
Mhm.
thing, if I sing a note to a glass, hear that note? If I sing that note sharply, cleanly, clearly, long enough, the glass will begin to vibrate because they're in the resonance. Eventually the glass will shatter if I keep singing that note, because I'm applying energy to the glass. But it only happens if I sing the right note. So frequency, law of attraction, vibration, they're all the same. It's all related. Success, or whatever you call success, it's a dollar number that you're earning. It's a response that you're expecting, whatever that is, whatever your definition of success is, or whatever you're tuning into. That's why it's a true north there. It's like you're pointing to true north. Let that compass heading represent that idea of success. Now, since in the law, the world of possibility, the infinite possibilities of the universe, we know that that successful version of you already exists. It exists in the quantum field because every possibility exists there. Then we don't have to actually become it, in the sense that there's easier explanation is we just simply have to tune to it. I sent a text message today on the chat from a colleague of mine who wrote the book that some of you have gotten already. The rest of you will get, The 4-Year Career. His name is Richard Brooke. He wrote a commentary about how to, not to fake it till you make it concept, but to actually start telling yourself, your subconscious mind, training your subconscious mind. Don't say I want success, say I am successful. That difference is everything. I want success is telling the subconsciousness to want. Want is a frequency. So when you're wanting of something, you're aligning with the frequency of not having that something. That's the wanting of it. So the frequency of wanting something is the frequency of not having something, and you're tuning the frequency of your mind, and therefore all your ability, into the not having of it. But when you tell yourself, I am successful, then you are tuning the subconscious mind, you're tuning the guitar to the frequency of success. And so success is a frequency. It already exists in the quantum field of reality. All possibilities of you exist there, and that version of you that's successful exists there. So just need to tune into it. So how we tune into it is we first define it as a compass heading. What is it? If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So what does it look like, etc.? Well, a lot of us don't achieve success in life because we've been programmed incorrectly on how to approach it, how to go for it. And that's where this presentation came in, because I found myself teaching what I had learned many years ago. And can all of you see what I'm looking at here? There's a triangle that's just appeared, and there's a number of words that have appeared on it.
We see it.
All right. Okay, good. Excuse me. What we have at the bottom of the triangle is structure followed by belief, behavior, results, vision. There's still one more. We'll get to it. So think of it this way. You were born into a structure. This structure includes everything and all things related to what you now believe to be true. For instance, the language you speak, the parents you have, the culture you were born into, the financial status you were born into, the country you were born into, and all the possibilities associated with being born into that country versus another country, et cetera, the way that we dress ourselves and whatnot. On top of that, you went to school. School is a structure. School gave you also the instruction and taught you things to accept as truths, behaviors, and so forth. These structures that we're born into and we adopt early on in life, in order for us to be members of those structures, let's take an example, the religion of choice, let's say Catholic religion. In order for you to be allowed, eligible, not to be ostracized for Catholic Church or Catholic religion, you had to do what you were told. You had to go through all the motions. You had to accept those things. You had to go to Sunday church and whatnot. So the structure told you what to believe to be true. And in order for you to be accepted into that structure, you had to behave accordingly, right? And when you're a kid, you know, your whole upbringing is about behave yourself. Behave. And so your acceptance, the love and the affection that you want is only available if you, quote unquote, behave, which means you accept whatever you're told. So our structures impart to us our belief system, what we believe to be true. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. It's just what we're told to be believed to be true. One time in our history, we believed the earth was flat and we acted as if it was. And now we don't. What changed? Well, the earth didn't change. What changed was our perception. And now the structures that teach us that the earth is round and not flat. So that's how it works. Structures teach us what to believe to be true. And then according to what we believe to be true, we behave. We don't even think about it. We just simply behave. And then, of course, the behavior leads to the results that we see in our life. And here's the problem. Most people are doing what they are told to do, behaving in a manner that's consistent with what they were taught and believed to be true. They are producing results, but those results are not in alignment with their vision, a vision of happiness, health, prosperity, flexibility, freedom. Think about how free you were as a kid, playing in your sandbox with your friends and whatnot. And then as you move on into, getting a job, and then having a career, and then having a family, and all the stuff that goes with those structures and the beliefs according to those things, then your vision has to take a hit. What happens is most people adjust their vision rather than adjusting their results. And so what happens to people's vision? It shrinks. It shrinks. And what happens is your results and your vision become the very same thing. And that's why yesterday's tomorrow, tomorrow's the next day, because we shrink our vision. And the reason we do that is because it's really difficult to live with a big vision, given current results and everything we know and how we're operating. And so the problem with that is that's life, that's how people, and then you start to justify it. What's even worse is you get older, you start to justify this craziness. But nobody ever asked you, hey, Sophia, what's your purpose in life? Does anybody ever ask you, how do you want to live? Not what do you want to do when you grow up, but how do you want to live when you grow up? Do you realize that that question, that simple change in a question, could change everything about what you learn and allow yourself to learn? So we need to start to realize that if we're not in alignment with our purpose, we're going to be dissatisfied no matter how far along that course we go. And with time, people become more and more dissatisfied and more complacent. And then they basically justify their reality. And then when an opportunity comes along, they can't even see it. They can't even recognize it because their vision is dissipated and they have no sense of purpose. So purpose, that is the driving force. Why are you even here on earth? What's your purpose? And then let's reverse engineer what it is that looks like in terms of a vision, what it looks like in terms of milestones or results. What is it? What are the behaviors that would produce those milestones? And what would you have to believe to be true to even behave that way? And then what structure do you need to buy into, borrow, or create that will give you those beliefs, those supporting beliefs, so that there's alignment? And when I was first introduced to Nikan, I was introduced to this 5 pillars of wellness, and I had no clue of its relevance or its importance. But now, as I look today, I realize that is my purpose. My purpose is to have a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy family, healthy society, healthy finances. It's to go towards that and grow towards that in a balanced and harmonious way. And that if I'm out of balance in any way, in any one of those areas, it's going to affect all the other areas. And if you consider everybody you know, who do you know that is in balance? And if there was one area that was most out of balance, which one do you think is the most predominant in society? Anybody?
Probably finances.
Yeah. Finances. That's why people are struggling. They make ends meet, but the stress that finances causes creates physical stress. and mental stress, and that creates stress in the family. Do you know they say that the average divorce could have been spared with the typical divorce would have been spared had the family income been just $500 or more a month, $500 more a month. It's not a lot of money, but it could change the nature of a family. So, and of course, society is comprised of families as well as individuals. So what I learned is that proper alignment to my purpose will lead to fulfillment. And it's really interesting because it's like a guidance system. You can tell any minute of every day whether you're on purpose or not, whether your life is on purpose or not. So Nikken is a business with purpose because it directs you toward this mission of staying in alignment with what is your true purpose. And so, for instance, you could say, well, did I eat in favor of a healthy body just now? You know, am I thinking thoughts that are in favor of a healthy mind just now? Am I doing the things that support family, society? Am I making the decisions, the choices, behaving in a manner that's going to improve my finances, create financial stability? It's so easy to tell whether you're on course or off course any minute of the day if you have this guidance system. And this becomes our definition of success. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's Earl Nightingale. Meaning, as long as we're moving toward this progression toward that ideal, then we're a success. It's only when we stop or veer away from that trajectory that we're no longer a success. And so for those of you watching this playback who are not on this call, it's really easy to see, there are circumstances in life, of course, but if you measure those behaviors, those actions, those things that you're in the habit of taking, ask yourself, are these things bringing me closer to or further away from balance in my 5 pillars of wellness? And so to have the support of a structure, mentoring, coaching, and a structure that constantly reminds you and helps you sharpen your skills and become more aware and attention to details in terms of your behavior, that structure is worth everything, because most of the structures you've been plugged into are resulting in the trajectory being out of alignment. And if you keep going down that path, you're going to get further and further away from the trajectory, from the course. You could be flying to Paris from Toronto, but if your airplane is 1 degree off course, you're not going to land in Paris. You need a guidance system that's constantly correcting the course to get you back. And they do say, by the way, that an airplane's off course 97% of the time. So thank God for these guidance systems, or we'd be really messed up. But that's why this is such an important lesson, because if you don't have a guidance system that is truly in alignment with your success and what we call success, which is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal being something you would trade your life for, then we're going to be off course and we're going to get so far away from where we want to be that you're going to wake up 30 years old, 40 years old, slap yourself in the head and wonder how the hell you got there. And that's what happens to so many people. Midlife crisis is called a midlife crisis for precisely that reason. Well, we can learn from other people's mistakes and not make them ourselves. And this is one of the ways you can do that. We call this humans being more. That's Nikken's motto, becoming more in harmony and balanced and alignment with your true purpose. Now, coming back to this for a second. So working backwards, like I said, what's the vision? What would it look like if you were living this, if you were now really working toward this fulfillment of purpose? Well, there's 2 visions that you need to address. One is personal. So for instance, you could have your ideal weight. You could have, how much time you spend a day reading, what time you spend with your family, or what family events you commit to attending every week. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. What does it look like if you were living your ideal purpose? Well, when it comes to business, your Nikken business, which I hope you've given thought to calling it something, give it a name. When your business asks for vision, you got to give that business a vision. What does it look like if your business is succeeding? Well, define that. Is it growing? How's it growing? New members, new consumers, What's the volume that it's doing? Those are the kind of things that a business vision encompasses. But what's really cool about this, and this could be a bigger vision as well. We were talking about vision earlier today. You know, Nikken has a vision 2025. That vision is to have 10 million new advocates or wellness activists. What do we call that? Active wellness members, people participating in active wellness. 10 million of them. That's Nikken's business vision for 2025. Well, if we're part of Nikken and we're supposed to be helping Nikken fulfill its vision, and its vision is in alignment with our own business vision, then it stands to reason that we're contributing to some of those 10 million people. So our business vision ought to state how many of those 10 million active wellness members are we going to help create by the year 2025? What if you actually put a number down? This is the whole point of tuning the fork or tuning the guitar. It's if you don't define what success looks like, you don't know if you're in harmony with it. So what if you actually put a number down? How many of those 10 million new active wellness members are going to be active wellness members of your organization because of what you and your team have created between now and the end of 2025? So if Nikken's number is 10 million, what's your number? What's your contribution to that? That's how your business now has a stated vision, just like Nikken's. Nikken has a vision. What's your contribution to that vision? And will your business succeed, or excuse me, will you start to live the kind of life that you want to live financially if you've contributed to that vision in that way? The answer would be, of course. So now, Nikken also, I guess I forgot there's this PowerPoint here, so let me just follow along the line for a second here. And the reason I'm bringing these two pictures up is, what are you building? Are you building a doghouse or a skyscraper? I mean, it's a metaphor. You know, a doghouse, you don't need to plan much to build a doghouse. You might even have the scrap materials in your garage. You won't need to hire anybody. You could probably just build it with a hammer and nails. In other words, your vision of what you're building will determine what you attract, who you attract. If you have a small vision because all you're thinking about is yourself, who needs to be attracted? Nobody. But if you have a vision to build a skyscraper, the bigger the skyscraper, the more experience, the more people, the more possibility to it that you need to attract. Even if you've never built a skyscraper, doesn't mean it can't be done. You just have to have the vision to do it and then attract the people who know how to do it. That's how it's always done. The building I'm in right now, that started with somebody's vision. And then they brought in somebody to put it on paper. And then they brought people to build it and so forth. That's how it always begins. It begins with a vision in somebody's mind. The building you're standing in, it was a vision in somebody's mind. And now it's a building you're in. So what's the vision you have for your business? Don't make it small because you won't need any help. But if you make it big, you're going to need help. Now your business has a purpose to go out and find help.
Mhm.
And so now this makes sense, doesn't it? When I say, what do we do when for partners, we're asking for their help. Why? Because we have something that we want to create, that we want to build, that requires skills, talent, motivation, you name it, ambition. By the way, it's a lot nicer living in the penthouse than in the doghouse. And there's a lot of room for people in a skyscraper. And not only that, but once the skyscraper is built, whoever built it made a ton of money, all the people involved in that. But you know what? The people who were responsible for actually building it are still making a ton of money. So you get paid to build it and you get paid for having built it. That's Nikken. You get paid to build it and you continue to get paid for having built it for the rest of your life. Now, I think that's a pretty sweet deal. That's why it's important to have a solid vision. We talk about these different ways of approaching the business, the retail model, the franchise model, the networking model. And we're going to talk a lot more about this in our presentation, because they lead to a different result. The retail model causes you to identify people that hurt, that you offer them products that can help them, and that creates an immediate and active income. That's good. Great for somebody who wants to make $200, $300, $500 a month. But if you want more, you need to learn the franchise model, which means in addition to retail, you're going to learn how to talk to people about this opportunity, products that can help people and generate some reproductive income. And that's fine. That might give you $1,000, $2,000 a month. But if you're looking for some serious income, lifestyle income, then you need to learn the network marketing model, which is the model that's about attracting entrepreneurs and leaders. They're motivated by freedom. And this will create for you that passive income. So this is the skyscraper I'm talking about. By the way, the book that you should all pick up, Cash Flow Quadrant, Rich Dad's Guide to Financial Freedom. This really explains how well suited our business is for this. Okay. I think yeah, what's the results look like? Okay, same thing. In the results department, you have personal results that you're looking to achieve. So these are milestones, meaning if you're looking to lose 30 pounds, okay, so how much by when? Start setting milestones. If you're looking to earn a certain amount of money, how much by when? These are milestones. You want to achieve a certain success, how much by when? So you set these milestones up. You know what? Think of a wedding. When somebody's getting married, they set a date. That's the first thing they do, because if they don't set a date, when are they going to get married? People get engaged. Oh yeah, we got engaged. Congratulations. And then 5 years later, they're still engaged, but they're not married. So setting a wedding date sets in motion everything that follows. And the closer you get to the wedding date, the more activity tends to take place. But if you hadn't set that date with destiny, the invitations wouldn't be made. The guest list wouldn't be made. The florist wouldn't be called. The church wouldn't be booked. The hall wouldn't be booked. The guy who's shooting the video and the et cetera and et cetera. None of those things would happen. And they all happen because the date is set. So that's how important it is to set some benchmarks or some milestones. In NECAN, we have the NECAN compensation plan. This is an old version. That's how old this PowerPoint is. There's one less rank. The senior rank is no longer there. We just skipped through that. So if you look at this, essentially, what you measure matters. And the milestones are what we need to be targeting. So what's the long-term, mid-term, and short-term strategy here? Yesterday, Sophia and I worked through some of this for herself. We've got her sign-up date is July 28th. So by August 27, we've got a target for or earlier. These are always the end point, or earlier. August 27 or earlier for Power Start. She's got a goal for her first 90 days, both an income goal and a rank goal with respect to cash and rank, silver, inside of 90 days. We have a goal for the year, platinum or diamond. We'll hone in on that as we move, and an income associated with that. We have a goal for 3 to 5 years, diamond, royal diamond, and an income goal associated with that. That's her business goals. Business goals. Her personal goals is what's she going to do with this money? You see the difference? We build a business that creates cash flow, then we pay ourselves to do whatever we want to do with that money. This is business objectives. And you guys are not in the habit of thinking as entrepreneurs because you're not been an entrepreneur before. So one of the things that I'm tasked with is helping you make the distinction between you, the person, and the business you're building. In the traditional employee workspace, you are the job. You are the income. When you stop, it stops. And that doesn't end no matter, you've been doing it for 40 years. It's the same relationship to money. So let's not do 40 years. Let's do 4 years. 4 years to financial freedom. What's this? The 4-year career, instead of 40 years to an endless loop of trading time for money. So what are the milestones? So let's use the compensation plan as a way to create milestones. It's a roadmap for us in the business. You'll see we call this a little bit different these days, but essentially we're talking about partners, customers, etc. So this is a 90-day plan for silver. You've seen all this, and if you haven't, I can walk you through this again. My new PowerPoint is really the exemplary version of this. So let me just skip this. Okay, so what are the behaviors? What's going to produce these results? Again, if it's personal, then, if it's okay, I'm going to eat 3 meals, not 4 meals. I'm not going to snack in between. Let's see, I'm going to have vegetables as 3/4 of my plate and protein 1/4. I mean, these are the kind of things that you can set up in terms of behaviors. These are the behaviors that lead to the results you're after. And if you don't give any thought to this at all, then you're not really tuning the instrument. You're just letting it play whatever it is. And if it gets out of tune, well, it's out of tune. But it's now tuned to a different channel, different frequency, therefore a different result. So in order to become a conscious creator, in order to live the dream, which means to create at will whatever you want, you need to be the kind of person who can give yourself a set of instructions and follow them. Let me repeat myself because that's too important. It's what my mentor Bob would say all the time. You need to be the kind of person who can give yourself a set of instructions and follow them. Too many people just ignore the latter part. And then if you hold them accountable, they get all defensive and upset. Okay, well, that's not going to work in a business environment. You've got to give somebody permission to hold you accountable. Otherwise, they're going to see you going off course. The guidance system is telling them, the light's flashing, off course, off course, off course, and you complain that the light's flashing instead of changing the course. So yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to give somebody permission to help us through our roles, through our responsibilities. So what's the business behavior? 3 things we learn in NECANN. We learn, we apply, we teach, and we guide and advise people. Those are the sort of the rules as an apprentice, as a coach, and as a mentor. And that's what this ABC thing is all about. We learn on the job. So give me, give Elena, give Sophia, give Savannah, give each other the opportunity to learn from somebody who's tried this, who's experienced it, who can give some coaching and advice. So what do we learn in the business to do? We learn how to attract people to the customer. As a customer, we learn how to sponsor people into the business by showing them the value of that. And the residual part is really by being of service to the community. This call, for instance, this call will morph into a call that you do as a team for the sake of the community, because you started it together. It's your community call. But eventually, each of you'll have your own separate calls for your teams. Some of the people on your teams will be doing their own calls. They'll have their own team name. That's what happens. And that should happen. Otherwise, we've stopped growing. Because part of this is growing in leadership. That's where the residual income comes from. Remember, attracting and inspiring leaders and leadership. So those are the 3 things that we learn. And so the structure that we build is a structure that helps us to create consumers, consultants, and leaders. And right now you're getting your feet wet on that. You've all are at some stage of this. Some of you just got your products, you're starting to experience them and starting to learn what it feels like to be the consumer of a NECANN product. Some of you have enrolled and you're now getting your feet wet with learning how to mentally organize yourself as a business owner, starting to do things like setting goals, starting to put a contact list together and starting to say, I wonder, who should I want on my team? Who would I want in my business, etc. Those are thoughts that only a business person would be thinking. You might even be thinking about some leaders. Anyway, I think I've gone as far as I want to go with this. You know this process. Oh, let me stop right here. This is important. behavior. Invest like you really mean it. What do I mean by that? Well, there's three things we invest in this business: time, money, contacts. A little bit of time, a little bit of money, and a few contacts. And we want to morph that into, grow that into freedom of time, enough money to support our lifestyle needs, and a network of contacts that span the Nican globe. That's what we're doing here. But it takes seed capital. It takes an investment. You've got to put in the time, the money, and the contacts. And nobody can do it for you because it's going to multiply. So the time is scheduling. We have this thing called 90-day planner. I'll just make reference to it. What's your next 90 days look like? Are you carving out time to actually make Nican a priority in those 90 days so that you can get this airplane off the ground? We have these packs. Some of you have, you can see they've changed their configuration, but basically we have packs, and these packs enable us to experience the products. The faster, the better, the sooner, the better, the more, the merrier, all of the above. And then finally, the contacts, that's your contact list. That's the names that of the people you know and the people they know and so forth. We're going to make this, turn this into a business that feeds the soul. Anyway, lastly, second last is belief. We say beliefs are experiential. Excuse me. How are you going to learn about the company? Start checking out the company's stuff. Go to the company's events, participate, check out the company's videos and stuff. Check out the website, learn about the company. Find out this company is pretty impressive. How are you going to learn to believe in the products? Of course, you got to use them, experience them. Here's the tough one. How are you going to develop your belief in network marketing? And there's a simple answer. Belief in a system that produces predictable and sustainable results. Now, let me give you an example. Sophia Di Domenico.
Yeah.
You're here because Sophia followed a system. Now, she's new to it. She's learning as she goes, but nonetheless, she's been following a protocol, a system. And you're now the product of that system producing a result. Here you are. So now, if it's a system that can be taught and can produce predictable and sustainable results, then all we need to do is duplicate it, teach it to others. And there you will have your belief. Yep. And so my goal is to help you learn the process, as Sophia has, put some people through the process, and experience what the process produces as a predictable result. You're going to have some people say no before they even know what they're saying no to. That happens. You're going to have some people say, I need to know more, and they never end. The need to know more doesn't end. You're going to have some people say, I would like to try the products. Okay, great. Start with the products. Your customer. You're going to have some people join and do nothing. I don't know why they joined. They just joined. Maybe to appease you, maybe to, they don't want to lose out on something, but then they've never really committed anyway. So you can't quit something you didn't start. And signing up is not really a demonstration of anything, except you got $19.99 on your credit card. So you're going to get that too. And then you're going to get some who are like you, who say, tell me what I need to do next. And those are the ones that we're looking for. We accept everybody, and we never know when somebody's going to be ready to say those words. But when they do, they become our focus, our focal point. So yeah, you're going to see that yourself. And what's weird is that you can't predict who it is. That's the one thing I can tell you. I don't ever know who it's going to be, but they demonstrate by their actions, not by their words. Remember what I just said. It's their actions that tell you, not their words. And of course, the system that works the best is the ABC. So if you're, and I know you went through the scripts with Sophia this morning, and booking an ABC in that initial call as part of that training, that's critical. It's the key. It's the key to this thing really working. So now the last piece, got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself and in others. This is an ongoing process. So a lot of the books that we're going to recommend, some of the trainings and the videos and so forth, we're going to recommend is really going to lead you down the path of building self-confidence, knowing more about yourself. Nikken has a program called Humans Being More. Right now they've got a 4-hour online curriculum, but they're also working back towards a 2-day in-person curriculum, which is the original one when we were visiting each other in hotels. As soon as you know that's available, do it. Just do it. It's cheap. It's like 99 bucks and it's so worth it. The experience will change your life. You'll never forget your first Humans Being More experience. So there you go. What's the structure? The structure is right here. Nikken gives us the path to impact the globe. We have a team of people who will support us in the name of our upline, and we're going to build a Nikken family. All of this contributes to creating impact. That's the structure we're working with. That's how we do it. And you're right there in the center of it. You're the key to the next generation. So that's a full-on presentation of aligning with success and how Nikken fits into that.
Perfect.
Thank you. That
Thank you.
was amazing.
Do we have any questions? I mean, like, I know for myself, I've definitely heard this, not to that extent, but I've had access to this lesson and this conversation in the past. So I don't know. So if you have any questions, I know Tiana's here as well. Yeah.
I think it's exciting more than anything to just think about, you know, what a decision today could mean for all of us in 5 years from now, 4 years from now. And I think it's really important to just remember that this is a business that grows exponentially, not linearly. So with consistency over time, you know, at first it might not seem like much is happening, but then you look back and in hindsight, a lot has actually happened. And that, yeah, for me, this is like, I don't expect anything to happen tomorrow, but I'm going to keep working every day and taking small steps every single day because I know that those steps are going to compound.
Yeah.
And one day I'm going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got here just from being consistent and continuing to take action every single day.
Yeah. I think that's the fun, well, a little bit of the discomfort, but also the excitement that comes with being an entrepreneur and owning your own business compared to being an employee, because you know, no matter what, as an employee, you know, you clock in and day out, you're getting that paycheck, you know what you're working for in a sense. And it's pretty, it's a pattern at that point, right? There's not much thought that has to go into the outcome that you're going to be generating. Whereas in this space, it's much more ambiguous. And I've noticed for myself, it's reminding myself that, you know, today I can do something different that I didn't do yesterday that potentially 5 months from now may have generated results that I couldn't have envisioned at the time that I was making those decisions, right? So, you know, exactly what you were saying, Sophia, in terms of like the compounding effect, because we actually don't know how the little things we do today are going to have an impact in the long term. So
you guys, you may have had a chance to watch the 3 Latina women from the last Nikken event, Seiko Kai event, or whatever the event was called, the Master Day event. Just keep this in mind. Somebody in Nikken introduced those women not that long ago to Nikken. One of them was what, a year? She went diamond in 8 months or something like that. A year in this last year. Somebody in Nikken doing what we're talking about, maybe even struggling, was the one who introduced that person to Nikken. And now, payday, you know, she's laughing all the way to the bank. That's the key. is you've got to have that consistency of behavior, because what you're telling the universe is you're tuning the guitar. As long as you keep that guitar tuned, the universe can harmonize with it. It will align itself and bring you and attract to you whatever that thing is in tune to. If you're out of tune and nobody's telling you that you're out of tune, or you don't want to hear it from anybody, you're going to attract what you're out of tune to. I think it's a wrap, guys. It's like 9:01.
Yeah, let's wrap her up.
Yep.
All
Well-
right, guys. Well, I'm sure that you got something valuable out of today's call. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And we will keep it moving. Lastly, before we go, I just want to address this one thing, because last week we had set a goal for ourselves for the end of for this week, and none of us accomplished it.
Right.
But that's okay. We're going to double our goal for next week. Although me and
Can I use this as-
Savannah
can I
are
use
going to
this
be
as a
going to
learning
Kingston.
opportunity?
Me and Savannah are going to be going to Kingston next week, so we'll see how that goes. But
Can I use this as a learning opportunity?
Yeah.
yes, Yes,
Not a
please.
criticism. It's not a criticism. I'm not here to criticize anybody.
okay.
But I want to ask the simple, honest question. Were you committed to the objective?
No.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No.
Okay, so there's no fault here. It's just you want to be somebody who is honest enough with yourself to understand the difference, because then you won't be as non-committal to something, or you won't be as, just throwing stuff out. You'll be more specific. And this is the humans being more thing. You're just going to
Mhm.
get better and better and better at being a conscious creator, because you're going to start to understand the universe does hear you
Yeah.
and reflects right back at you what's really going on inside, not what you say.
Yeah.
It's what you're in alignment with.
Yeah.
Words, thoughts, feelings, all of those things in alignment. And if any one of them is out of alignment,
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys.
I mean,
Committed.
I'm still committed. I'm definitely committed to 4 waterfalls by the end of the month. That's happening. No questions asked. The timing of it, we'll see about, because I'm going away next week for 4 days, and I don't know what my schedule is going to be like while we're traveling around Kingston, but 4 waterfalls will be sold by the end of the month by
Yeah.
me personally.
or more, maybe
or
more.
more. Or more. 4 or more.
There you go. That's a better 4 or more. I like that. 4 or more.
And every
90
night,
days or less.
yeah, every night before I go to bed, when I get into bed, I do some journaling, and I'll always just journal my goals in present tense.
Mhm.
So I have my goal for how much I want my Nikan business to be generating by the end of the year. And I write that every single night in present tense. And then I also write monthly goals. So I'm so happy and grateful to have helped 4 or more families receive a PIMAG waterfall by September
Again, I've
on
got
or
to just jump in
before
here.
August 31st, 2021.
Sophia, you've taught this on your channel, and you should probably do just the training for this group and post it on this group chat, because you've taught this. And Savannah, can I ask you, Savannah, what is it that's written on your mirror at the apartment regarding your GPA?
I am 4.0 GPA.
And what did you just receive in the email last week?
Well, actually, I wrote that on my vision board when I first went into university, or my first year, and I'm pretty sure I got it my second year, and then I got it again this year. Yeah.
How many people do you know write their own scores?
The thing is, I didn't even really think about it. I just saw it every day, and I was just like, yeah. that's
Okay.
Writing is
This is
powerful.
called
I even
the
had my
law.
name Savannah DiMuccio underneath. I just had it all.
This is called the law of attraction applied. You see, the subconscious mind is powerful. It saw that number. It saw that number. If you came to my house, you'd see a number on my mirror in my bedroom. And so in my bathroom. So you would see my life cycle plan next to the coffee maker in the kitchen. Life cycle plan is my vision board. That's the images that I have that I see on a subconscious level every morning I go to reach for a cup of coffee. What am I doing to myself? I'm programming myself.
I have mine on my phone.
You know that commercials work, right? Advertising works. That's why the world is revolving around advertising. Well, why not advertise to yourself? Advertise to yourself. Create the vision of what you want for your life in those 5 key areas of life. By the way, that's one of the exercises you do at the Humans Being More 2-day workshop, is you create your life cycle plan. And this is one of the most powerful things you could possibly do. You're literally using the power of suggestion to suggest to yourself to create, using the law of attraction. That happens on a subconscious level. She's not thinking about it when she's seeing the 4.0 on her mirror. She just wrote it down one time, and that starts to take over. These are the things, these are the life hacks that you're going to learn by being in a structure that knows about them and how to apply them. So you got a few golden nuggets tonight, I'm telling you.
All right, everyone have a beautiful sleep. A great day tomorrow.
Great night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.